Hello and welcome to this 40-minute workout that will start with a Pilates routine and move into a yoga flow to stretch and settle the mind. This combination is my favorite type of movement and it's what I do on my own, so I thought I would share this practice here. Starting either kneeling or in a cross-legged position, roll your neck to the right. And coming to the other side now. Now lean over to the right side, stretching the side body with your arm over your head, and to the left side as well. Come up to standing now with your feet wide and turned out. And we'll begin with plie squats with a swan arms motion in the upper body. Hold low in your plie and we'll come into squat pulses, lifting one heel and then the other. Arms can be in a prayer position. Stand up straight again and bring your right leg behind you into a curtsy squat. Then pull the right knee in toward the body and out into a side lunge. This is working a lot of balance, so keep your core engaged and focus on the breath. Now hold back in the curtsy squat position, lowering into a squat and then standing to bring the knee in toward the body. You should feel this a lot in the supporting leg and glute, especially as you lift the knee. Now stay standing and extend the right leg out to the side, coming into a slight bend in the left leg. With the right arm extending upward, slowly pull the right knee and elbow together, pivoting your body slightly toward the arm and leg as they connect to engage the core. And then extend your arm and leg out again, keeping your balance as best you can. This works a lot in the stabilizing leg and the whole body as well. Now place both feet down and move into a curtsy position with the left leg back this time, lowering into a squat, standing to pull the left knee in toward the body and out to a side lunge. And I should mention that I am mirroring you here. Keep the squat motion going now, lifting the left knee in to engage the core and lowering back into that curtsy. Now extend your left leg and left arm out and slowly turn toward the left as the knee and elbow connect. Focus on engaging the core and the standing glute. Walk to the back of your mat now, sweeping your arms above your head and down into a forward fold, walking out to a plank and then back up again. Next time you're out in your plank, stay there and lift your right and then left arm up in line with your ears, and then lower the arm down again. You can step the feet out a little bit wider like me to help stabilize. Come into a side plank now on the right elbow, slowly threading the left arm in toward the body before reaching it back out toward the ceiling. And repeat this motion. You can turn onto the left side now and repeat that same exercise on the other arm. Sit down now and bring your arms behind you, lifting into tricep dips. Keep the feet flexed and toes lifted, and as the elbows bend, they should be parallel to each other. You can extend your legs out a little bit further for more of a challenge, or bring them closer toward the body. Sitting down into a boat position now, extend the arms out in front of you with the hands clasped, and moving from your core, you can lower the arms alternately to the right and then to the left. Lie down now with the arms extended and legs at a 90-degree angle. Lower your right arm above the head while extending the left leg out long, and then come back in toward the center, repeating on the other side. This is one of my favorite core exercises, and it does not strain the neck at all, which I love. Now lower the arms down beside the body and press your heels in together with the knees out wide. Extend the legs out and then back in toward the body, keeping the lower back on the floor. If you like, you can place your hands just underneath your bum to help keep the lower back down. Now bring your arms into a fifth position above your head, hovering above the ground slightly, and alternately lower your right and left leg in a scissoring motion. And now we're coming into slow bicycles, supporting the head with the hands. onto your stomach now with the arms and legs out long, lifting your right arm and left leg slightly, and then lowering and lifting the other leg and arm. So the opposite leg and arm are lifting. Make sure to keep your neck long, looking toward the top of your yoga mat. Keep both legs down now, hovering your arms above you with the upper back lifted, and move into that swan arms motion again with the arms. There is no need to lift very high, and make sure to engage your legs. Lower the arms and head and rest for a little bit, stretching the back in a child's pose and a cobra if you'd like. Preparing to come onto the side body now with the right arm supporting you. Lift the left leg and we're moving into some straight leg lifts. Now keep the leg lifted, bring your knee in and down almost to tap the floor, and then extend the leg back out again. So we're curving slightly inward with the knee before extending it back out. Keep the leg out long now, and we're coming into small circles, moving one way. And halfway through here, we're going to switch directions with those circles. So I'm now moving toward the back of the room. come into a clamshell now, lifting your feet off the mat if you'd like, and extending the top arm over your head to engage the core a little bit more. We're opening the knees outward and inward toward each other. And now we're going to do all of that on the other side, starting with the leg lifts. So support yourself with your left arm, lifting your leg up and down from the glutes. Now bring your right knee in and tap it toward the bottom knee, and then extend the leg out long again. Make sure to keep your core engaged here and stay supported in your shoulder. Keep the leg out long, and we're moving into small circles moving forward. Halfway through, I will let you know and we'll switch directions. And moving to the back now. The leg is at hip height here. I could not go any higher at this point, but just lift your leg as high as you can. And lastly, our clamshell exercise, keeping the feet either lifted or on the floor. You can extend the right arm above the head for a little bit more engagement with the core. Lower the feet down, and we will come into some stretching now. So sitting up, cross your right knee over top of your left and gently lean over the top leg, keeping a flat back and only lowering as far as you can toward the right. Sitting up again, hug the knee in toward the body with the left arm, reaching your right arm upwards and behind you for a twist, keeping the spine long. Now slowly unwind, and we will pull the left knee over top of the right this time, crossing the knee over and slowly folding over the leg to stretch out the glute. Now hug that top knee in toward the body, lifting the left arm up and behind you into a nice twist. Can slowly come out of that now and come onto the hands and knees. You're going to lift the legs into a downward facing dog. Breathing here for a moment, stretching out the hamstrings, and you can walk your dog a little bit if you'd like. Now walk the legs up to the top of your mat, taking as many steps as you'd like, and hang down in a forward fold, clasping opposite elbows and just letting your whole neck relax here. I love to sway from side to side and just let my spine decompress. Place your hands on the floor and bend the knees as much as you need for a half lift. Lower down and then slowly roll up to the top. Head comes last, sweeping the arms up beside you and above your head before lowering them down into a prayer position. And just breathe here for a moment. You can bring the arms up over the head again and swan dive down into a forward fold. Coming up to the fingertips for a halfway lift, lower the hands down and stepping back into a plank, holding it here for a moment before taking a flow of your choice. So you can lower into chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then into a downward facing dog. On the inhale, right leg comes up into a three-legged dog, and pulling the knee in toward the nose, step forward into a warrior one with the back heel planted. Lift the arms up above the head, keeping equal weight in the heels and pulling your belly in toward the spine. You can look up toward the hands if that suits your neck. Now slowly circle the arms to clasp behind you and lean forward into a humble warrior position. Inhale to come back up and exhale into warrior two, settling down here for a few breaths. Coming into some flowing motions now, move back into peaceful warrior, and then lean forward again into a side angle pose with the left arm sweeping over the head. Move back into peaceful warrior now, following your breath, and then forward again into a side angle. And one last time into a peaceful warrior. Breathe here and then straighten the front leg without hyperextending your knee and lower down into triangle pose. Think about using your core here to lift upward toward the top arm instead of leaning downward into the bottom hand. Inhaling back into Warrior Two, and you can windmill the arms down, lifting your right arm upward toward the ceiling for a twisted lunge position. Make sure that not all the weight is in your supporting hand. There should still be weight in both of your feet. Lowering the back knee down now, option here to lift the back foot in toward you, holding on with your right arm and gently opening the shoulders and chest as well as the left hip. If your knees are sensitive, you can skip this pose and just stay in the low lunge. Now lower the back foot down and lift up into a pyramid pose. Option here to keep the back heel planted down or slightly lifted to feel a stretch in the front hamstring. You can come onto the fingertips for a flat back and then lower down over the front leg as far as you can go. You can always keep more weight in the hands here if the stretch is intense, or option to move the arms back toward the center of the mat, folding all the way down over the leg. Now we are going to move into a side lunge position with the right knee bent. So right arm presses into the knee to open up the hip and left arm extends out long over the head. Sweep that top arm down now and slowly sway to a side lunge on the other side. Think about opening the heart and shoulders here. Using your fingertips, move back to the other side, opening the heart and chest one more time before turning toward the right leg into a lunge position. Hands on either side of the feet, step back into plank, and you can move through a flow here or step straight back into a downward facing dog. Breathe in your dog for a moment, and we will repeat that all on the other side. So inhale your left leg up into a three-legged dog, and exhale, bring the knee inward toward the nose, stepping into Warrior One with the back heel down. You can lift the arms up above the head, coming into a slight back bend here with the core engaged. Slowly bring the arms down to clasp behind you. Inhale, opening the chest, and then exhale, leaning forward onto the inside of your leg for a humble warrior. Slowly bring the arms back toward the body, lifting up the head and arms, and then exhale into a Warrior Two position. Hold here for a few breaths, lowering the shoulders down and focusing your gaze over the middle finger. Now inhale, lean back into a peaceful warrior, feeling the stretch in your side body, and exhale into a side angle pose, sweeping the right arm over top of your head. And moving into that flowing motion now, so back into a peaceful warrior, and over the front leg again into your side angle. Inhale into a peaceful warrior one last time, feeling the stretch. And exhale, straighten that front leg, keeping a small bend in the knee. Coming forward now, press your hips back and move into a triangle. Again, thinking about engaging your core and lifting upward toward the ceiling. Coming back into a warrior two now, before windmilling the arms down to come into a twisted side lunge position. You can lower the back knee down here and either stay here or lift the foot up to open up the hip a little bit more and the chest as well. You can pull the foot in slightly towards the glute to feel a more intense stretch. Can release the foot down and stepping up into your pyramid pose again. Coming onto your fingertips for a flat back position, really focus on keeping the core engaged inward toward the spine and your back long. And then you can lower forward toward the front leg as far as you can go. Now bring your hands onto the inside of your left leg and move into a side lunge now. And slowly transition into a side lunge on the other side. You can make this as fluid as you would like. Crawling with the fingertips back onto the side lunge on the left side. Then turning back down into a lunge with your hands framing the foot, stepping back into a plank position and moving through a final flow of your choice. Once you're in your downward facing dog, take a moment to breathe here. And then we will step forward into a cross-legged position seated on your mat. You can extend the legs out long now with your hands planted beside you and press into the hands and heels to lift into a reverse plank, really stretching out the hip flexors here and the upper body. If your neck feels comfortable, you can lean the head all the way back to face the wall behind you. Breathe into the chest here and then slowly lower down, lifting the arms up above the head, and we're melting down over the legs now into a forward fold position. Don't worry about pulling or pushing at all in this pose. Let this be very relaxed. You can bend your knees and open your hands up toward the ceiling in a position of surrender. We are going to stay here for a few breaths. If you have any blocks, feel free to place them under your forehead so you can really rest the head down. Now very slowly start to think about rolling the spine back up into a seated position. Head comes up last, and take a few moments here to really feel that beautiful new energy that is moving through the head and chest right now. And slowly come into a cross-legged position in the center of your mat. Lift the arms up over the body, gathering all of that beautiful energy we have generated, and bring it all downward toward the heart. This prayer pose here is uniting our minds and our hearts. And just breathe here for a moment before you move into the rest of your day. And bring the hands onto the knees for a final moment of grounding. And you can open your eyes again whenever you are ready. Thank you so much for joining me for this Pilates and yoga flow. Please let me know what you thought about it, and I will see you again in the next video. Have a wonderful day.